Are you ready to dominate the mobile gaming world? Join us as we explore the top 5 best gaming phones of 2024. We'll dive into the world of blazing fast processors, high refresh rate displays, and powerful graphics to find the perfect phone for your gaming needs. From intense action games to immersive RPGs, these phones deliver a smooth and responsive gaming experience. Let's unlock the power of mobile gaming and find the perfect phone to take your gameplay to the next level. Number 5. Asus ROG Phone 7 Ultimate. The latest ROG phone certainly doesn't rip up the rulebook. Sporting an almost identical design to the previous generation, the Asus ROG Phone 7 Ultimate is a familiar sight with the chunky form factor and bezels of a much older device. However, with newer releases opting for a harsh flat design, this is a golden age of comfort we're keen to keep alive. A Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chipset runs this show, offering some incredible performance and the cooling to back it up. Without the dedicated aero cooler system, sold separately, things can get a little heated when pushed to max, but we were never uncomfortable during standard everyday gaming. That's not something we can say for the majority of gaming phones out there. Pair that with a gorgeous screen, working particularly hard for you considering its resolution sits at just 2448 by 1080, and a beastly set of front-firing speakers, and the overall experience is unlike anything we've experienced before. Everything is crisp and snappy thanks to the AMOLED display running at 165 Hz, meanwhile the touch-sensitive triggers make sure you're taking every shot with excellent precision. The ROG Phone 7 Ultimate has even avoided software pitfalls that sometimes plague even the best gaming phones. The Armoury Crate software neatly pulls all your games together while also serving as a hub for performance settings, frame rate limits, and screen recordings. It's not unusual to find these features split across several different programs clogging up a gaming phone, so this sparsity is a welcome relief. All of that makes the lofty price point all the more enticing, particularly if you're happy to invest in a high-end device. However, there is one flaw that may well stop you in your tracks. The charging USB-C port to the bottom of the phone is off-center. That means you won't be able to use the Asus ROG Phone 7 Ultimate with the majority of mobile controllers, which often connect directly via this USB-C port. Bluetooth gamepads won't be affected, but if you're looking to use something like the Razer Kishi V2, you'll need to look elsewhere. Overall, though, this is a serious piece of kit with the serious price tag to match. If you want the best of the best, Asus is a good place to start, but there are some sacrifices you can make, and likely won't notice, if you do want to keep the cost down. Number 4. Black Shark 5 Pro. Balancing the top spot for best gaming phone is tricky business. Yes, this device needs to be one of the most powerful models on the market, but it also needs to be within reach. The price-to-performance ratio of the Black Shark 5 Pro is excellent. It's no cheap device by any means, but there's little sense of inflated costs here. Plus, for a device to truly be considered the best gaming phone overall, it needs to function just as well as an actual smartphone as it does a gaming machine. That's where the camera of the Black Shark 5 Pro comes in. It's rare to find a gaming phone offering such top-line specs and performance while still carrying a decent set of lenses in its corner. We were particularly impressed by the shots we were able to take here. Yes, you are making some smartphone sacrifices, the lack of wireless charging being the biggest here, however this is still an everyday device with the battery to back it up. Load up some games, though, and you'll really see the Black Shark 5 Pro shine. Everything is smooth and crisp on that gorgeous OLED display, and with physical pop-up trigger buttons to keep all your movements precise and snappy as well. Few phones offer these physical clickers these days, opting for the more svelte touch-capacitive buttons along the top. However, we were particularly thankful for these small additions, making for a far more engaging experience overall. Add to all that a design and feel that brings the Black Shark line more into the realm of the everyday smartphone market, and you've got yourself a secret weapon in your pocket. This is a dream of a phone without topping the price charts. Number 3. Samsung Galaxy A50. Picking up a cheaper gaming phone doesn't mean limiting yourself to match 3 puzzlers or go with an unknown brand. The Samsung Galaxy A50 costs a small fraction of its flashier siblings like the S20 or Note series, but this is still a great phone and a stone-cold bargain if you want to spend less, but get a phone that won't let you down. I was testing this for gaming against some very expensive phones and I almost had to have a word with it and explain how it needed to stop showing up the big boys. Call of Duty Mobile on high settings for graphics and frame rate. Why not? Sure, it wasn't quite as smooth or detailed as your $1,000/$1000 flagship phones, but at less than a third of the price, the A50 is way better than it should be. As a day-to-day phone, the Samsung Galaxy A50 has a very good camera, with only the night pictures being prone to a loss of detail if there are too many artificial light sources. Amazingly, for a phone at this price, it has a dual SIM slot, making it handy if you have separate work/home SIMs or if you're picking up a cheap data card when traveling abroad. There's a newer Galaxy A51 out there now, which aside from an upgrade to 48MP/32MP, back/front, camera lenses, carries the same internal spec and display, so we'd stick with the A50 for the generally cheaper cost, but if you're curious, here are the latest Galaxy A51 prices. Number 2. Red Magic 9S Pro. While it's very similar to the model before it, the Red Magic 9S Pro is the best value gaming phone on the market today. It may only be an iterative update compared to the processing power found in the previous 9 Pro model, but you're getting an incredible price-to-performance ratio here with stunning results in-game. If you're after an Android gaming phone that won't break the bank but still offers an upgrade over a mainstream device, this is where you need to be looking. In line with other industry trends, the 9S Pro is more laid back in its aesthetic than previous entries. A flat-sided block with a particularly skinny silhouette, it only hints at its gaming origins at first glance. Of course, things become a little more obvious once that RGB fans wears to life, but from the outside this could be any mainstream flagship. That means this is a device that looks good and feels comfortable in the hand, even if we did wish for a slightly curved back during landscape play and speakers that weren't covered when horizontal. Of course, you're still getting all those gaming phone-specific features. The 9S Pro offers 2 capacitive touch pads along the top which can read inputs at 560 Hz, meanwhile the dedicated game launcher provides quick access to all your apps and can provide system information and performance controls with an in-game overlay as well. Considering the cash you're spending, that display is something else. A super crisp AMOLED is going to look good on any phone, but the screen ratio in here is fantastic considering its lower price point and everything still looks slick despite the lower than Asus 120Hz refresh rate. Number 1. Asus ROG Phone 8 Pro. With Qualcomm's latest Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor at the helm and a sleek new chassis to house it all in, the Asus ROG Phone 8 Pro stormed the shelves last year. Between its edge-to-edge display and fantastic in-game performance, this is the gaming phone to beat right now. A slimmer form factor means the ROG Phone 8 Pro doesn't stand out too far from the crowd of mainstream smartphones, but the fun LED matrix display on the rear certainly does. A matte black surface keeps things classy, though, even if we didn't particularly enjoy the off-center USB-C port in testing. Of course, those touch-capacitive trigger buttons are back, with super-sensitive pads offering a more gamepad-oriented play style for the titles that support them. In the box, the Aero Active Cooler allows for a more sophisticated set of bumper buttons while also boosting your phone's performance to boot. Throw in Asus's Armoury Crate software and the sheer power of that Gen 3 Snapdragon chip and it's clear this svelte device is hiding some serious gaming chops. All that comes with a super crisp display running at a massive 165 Hz, most gaming phones will cap you at 120 Hz, to offer up super fluid motion whether you're gaming or browsing the web. Blitzing performance, a wad of extra gaming-focused features, a gorgeous display and even a decent camera setup make the Asus ROG Phone 8 Pro the best gaming phone on the market right now. You will find all the links of these products in the description below. Comment below and tell us which gaming phone you were considering. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to hit the like button and share with your friends, and if you are new to the channel then subscribe and hit the bell icon for future updates.